Okay.
I'd like to call the meeting of the Economic Development Committee for St. John, Indiana to order for Wednesday, March 12th, to order at 5 p.m. Would everybody please rise and join me in the pledge?
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Chuck, will you call the roll, please?
Certainly. Schultz.
Present.
Moore.
Here.
Schlichting.
Here.
Stoyanovich.
Here.
Joe Barry.
Here.
Bill Clark.
Here.
And Chuck Pullen is here.
Okay. Next up, the approval of the minutes. You have them in front of you, and they were sent out electronically. I'd entertain a motion to approve the minutes for January 7th, 2025 meeting.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Okay, next up, the new business spotlight. And I know we have Steve from Definitive Cuts Barbershop. If you'd like to come up to the podium and kind of introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your business.
Sure. My name is Steven Singh. My wife and I, Jennifer, are the owners of Definitive Cuts Barbershop. And we decided it would be a good idea to come to St. John. We recently had 2 other locations that we closed down, so we came here to focus on what I felt the town needed. A good barbershop, premium services, to give everybody a boost of confidence right along with the growth, So we wanted to come here, to provide good services for the community and to be a part of the community. As it grows, we would like to be involved with the growth also. So that's why we're here.
And where are you located?
We're actually located at 8460 Wicker, right behind the Taco Bell at the
Okay.
Jameson Plaza.
Okay.
So we're the second unit going in as soon as you're pulling into the parking lot, and that's where we're at right there.
Great, great. Why don't you bring
Can I
your
put
wife?
you on the spot? Tell us how everything went, the process of moving in the town.
I'll be honest with you, it was a new experience. From the previous towns that we went, we had a location in DeMont. That was our first location. No process, they just said, hey, welcome, okay, glad to have you. And that was basically it. Maryville, it was more of the permitting just to get the business license. Here, there was a lot more structure, and that's one of the things that intrigued me was that the structure, the processing, it went to show that the town is really serious about people coming in, opening up businesses, and stuff. And to me, that really showed, the town taking care of its community, so it taught us something, because I was like, wow, more paperwork, but it was necessary for us to open, so we were educated through the entire process, so we are glad to be here.
Excellent.
Fantastic.
Excellent. You want to come on up, or we'll, who wants to take the picture? We can all go down the picture, okay?
Yep. I'll take one with mine and then one with yours.
Sorry. Well, I figured if President and Vice President, I thought Chuck would tuck in there.
Ready? Okay, one more. Okay.
Pleasure. Nice to meet you. Thank you.
Welcome, glad to have you. Thank you. Welcome to the town. You're welcome.
Okay, Scooters is not here, but if they show up, we can deviate and give it to them, okay? So next up is new and old business, and we have the small business event, and I know this is something that Chuck wanted to talk about. So
Can we jump around? Can we just kind of skip around and go to the Chris Kingle first and just
Sure.
get that out of the way?
Sure.
So why don't we do that first? So essentially, obviously, I know it's a little premature to be thinking about Christmas, but, so basically Santa Claus reached out to us and said spots are filling up fast, right? So, so basically, at the very least, I think it would be good to pick a time and date, and at least have that booked, and then we can obviously work on details as we go and just let it work its, even today I was thinking about, are we gonna do 2 days? Where's it gonna be? There's a lot of questions, but at the very least, I'd say, based on the success of last year, I'd like to do that again, kind of the same format this year. All we really are doing is just confirming a date that same weekend, and then at least that way we can make sure Santa's available, and as, people reach out to us, we can tell them that's the date. So that's all we're doing, is basically just create a placeholder for that date. So if you wanted to look that up real quick.
I was gonna
Sunday
say,
following Thanksgiving would be November 30th.
Okay.
can we do that day?
So the other question is, obviously with the success, we had a lot of vendors and people asking about making it a 2-day event. So one of the things I would propose is we kind of just sort of hold that weekend. And then there's discussions about where it's going to be held and, the time, things like that. But I think it would be good, based on last year's success, to just plan on the whole weekend, if everyone agrees with that. So I would say 29th and 30th, but obviously Santa, we would just book him for 1 day based on.
He's already booked for Christmas in the Park Saturday evening. He did confirm with me that the town has booked him
Okay.
for all of their Christmas in the Park events. So when they do the tree lighting Friday, he'll be there Friday night. And then they always do like the 4 to 6, 4 to 8, I don't remember what the time is, but it's every Saturday evening they do something at the park as well.
Okay, well, and so ideally, the goal was obviously not to step on that event, so in a perfect world, we'd have Saturday end at the same time that the park begins, and then everybody would just kind of head over there after the market. So that would be, to me, that's a great way to do that, is to have a full day of events on a Saturday.
Is the plan to hopefully be able to hold it indoors at the community center?
That would be a discussion. I think that's what I'd like to do, is essentially put a pin in the dates and then look at options, if the community center makes sense, if any other locations that may be being built make sense, or we go back to where we were. So I think at the very least, at this point, we just put a pin in it and then just kind of keep that discussion going throughout the year. And just kind of present options. I think we always have the fallback where we had it this year, and that was a great location, but if we have someplace that's bigger and better, then we'll go there, because that gives us.
And warmer?
Well, and I'd say the issue is, with where we are now, we couldn't have it Saturday, we can only have it Sunday.
Right.
So that would be the other issue, is if we had our own location where we can come in and set up days early, and that's the only, the location we had, it was great, but it'd be nice to be able to get in there a couple days early and set up and things like that. So that'd be the only real reason to move. That would give us the whole weekend and plenty of time to set up. So.
What day for Santa then, the 30th?
I think,
Sunday?
well, right, so.
I think he's already booked for something Sunday morning, so it would probably have to be
yeah,
like
noon time, or,
in
that's the whole
afternoon.
thing, is if we have a big enough window, it's basically, okay, Santa, what time can you get
Works
here,
for
and we'll
you.
build around that.
Right.
But I think having him come later is fine too, having him come at 1 o'clock or something. so.
Okay.
But again, that's all we're really doing right now, is just sort of picking the date, so we can tell Santa and anybody else, book them early, before they get booked up, so. Do we need to hold a vote on that?
We can, just to be official.
Okay.
So I'd entertain a motion to book Santa for the 30th of November, correct?
Well, I would say we would.
29th?
We would propose at this point to hold a second annual Kris Kringle Market.
You want to do that
I
one
mean, we're not
first?
really, I'd say we just propose, at this point, I'd just say we just propose the event,
Okay.
so it's on paper, and then we can worry about, basically, we're just telling Santa that's the day it's gonna be. We're not
Okay.
So I'd say we just entertain a motion.
Okay.
Entertain a motion to hold the second annual Kris Kringle Market, the weekend of November 29th and 30th.
Okay, that will be the motion. So who's
Second.
Made it first and second. Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, we're good there. Okay. What's next, the food
So,
truck?
well,
or
and
the-
so, yeah, so the second, parts A and C kind of get rolled in together. So,
Okay.
the town has asked us to help with a food truck event. And so we need to get some more details on that. I don't know, can you present details on that at all, or no?
No,
Okay.
that would have to go through Bill.
Okay, so the town manager, ideally, I think what we'll have to do at this point is have the town manager join us for the next meeting, but at the very least, what the town would like to do a food truck event. And I think, I would say at this point, we do it the same way as Chris Kringle. We basically, I don't even know that I don't know that they've confirmed a date on that either. So again, we're kind of just getting details on this. So essentially, they have asked us to come in and help with this food truck event. My thought would be, it would be great to roll this in with the grand opening of the new community center, if that makes sense with the time frame. Kind of what we talked about is obviously during the summer, there's lots of events going on all over the place, so timing is critical. You don't want to book it the same weekend as
Right.
another event in town or a big event, county fair, something like that. So I think that's going to be an event where essentially today we would just decide if we want to participate in helping plan the event and then bring more details for the next meeting. Where that rolls in with the small business event is that we talked about the idea of essentially having some sort of, and I call it like a scavenger hunt or a passport kind of thing, where people would come through town and go to different locations that are participating and learn more about the businesses. And then essentially they, so imagine a scenario where you have a week to go to different businesses and check in with a QR code or a punch card or something like that. And then at the actual, say, food truck event, if we wanted to have small businesses as part of that, or even just have like a raffle at the end where people that participated can win a prize, or we have some sort of fun, sort of like an amazing race, the end of it, you have whoever participated, gets to do something at the end. So that would be my vision, is to just roll those two events into one.
The one that I saw, I think that was like a, not necessarily a scavenger hunt, but I think it was more like a passport or something.
Sure.
You had one day to do it, and it was set for a specific time because the businesses that participated offered something special for that day. If you were maybe like a sweet shop, you would have people who are participating in the passport could come in and sample your chocolate pretzels or something, and they would be like discounted, or they would just have extra samples set up in the store. If you wanted to buy this, you would get it for a special price as part of what the passport program was doing that day. And you had the whole day, like, from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. to finish it. And anyone who finished, maybe the first 100 people that finished were given swag bags when they got to the last store.
So, but what if, imagine that you do that all day, like on a Saturday, and then the finish line is essentially this event.
The food truck. That would work too.
At 4 o'clock.
Right.
Something like that.
That would be excellent.
I
We would
think that'd
just,
be a fun thing.
yeah, if you get your businesses involved, they have, basically, you set out a map for them. And here's one where you go get your passport or whatever it is, and you get all those stores that are participating that you need to go and get your stamp on or whatever. And then, yeah, we would have to have a table with all the swag bags or whatever we would be giving away. That was one of the conditions to participate. If you were a business, you donated stuff to these swag bags, whether they were coupons, samples, if you're a hair salon, maybe it was a little trial of shampoo or something, you had to donate to participate.
Okay. Well, I think that sounds like a great one-day scenario where they pick everything up in the morning, they have all day to do it, and then they come back in the evening, and we have our food truck event or something along those lines.
So all of that is kind of hinged on when the town wants to do it, the date.
And if they want to roll that into the grand opening, which I think it would be nice to do that, where we, that would be a good excuse to show off the center and have people come through and meet vendors or have some sort of indoor event at the center.
And draw attention to local businesses
Right.
on that day when we're promoting St. John.
Right. And again, because there's so much that happens during the summer, if we roll this all into one day, then we don't have to worry about, again, 2 or 3 events throughout the summer conflicting with other things.
Right.
So I think at this point, we would make a motion to participate in the food truck event, and then we'd have to bring a more concrete plan to the next meeting based on construction project, progress, things like that.
Information from the town as well, so.
So that's what we're sort of missing, but I think at the very least, we just agree to participate and then kind of go from there.
Okay. Yeah, that's a motion?
So I will make a motion to help the town of St. John in preparing and promoting the food truck event, TBD this summer. Location TBD at this point as well. But TBD, what we can vote on.
Okay.
That will
Second?
help.
Second.
Right, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Okay.
So the other thing with that, I would say is, obviously, so like with the Kris Kringle event, Amy and I sort of spearheaded that. Obviously, if there's another couple of people that want to spearhead this event, or however we want to do that, I mean, I don't know, again, people's schedules and things like that, if that's something where two different people want to do that, or however we want to, however we want to split the duties on this. Obviously, I'll bring information at the next meeting and keep everybody in the loop, but that would be the other thing just to think about is who
Okay.
would be because again, we have that limitation of we all can't communicate, so we have to have sort of two people,
Correct.
in that process, so.
Okay. That's good. Right. Okay. Does anybody else have anything? Committees? We'll go to committee reports and.
So I've reached out to the building and planning director just to find out some of the new businesses that have opened recently that maybe our group didn't recognize yet. Maybe just because they weren't able to make it to one of the meetings. So I wanted to kind of go through those, and then people who are coming to town, go through that list too. So newly opened, and this is just since November, Chipotle, Domino's, Papi Chulos, Scooter's Coffee, Polish Nails, Planet Fitness, and Boba Bliss. So those are just a few of the businesses that have come in recently. And then she gave me a list of individuals that are opening soon. Of course, Jewel, Franciscan Medical Office, Planet Fitness, Complete Canine Pet Spa, Moda Beauty Bar, which I believe that they just opened, Our Bar, which is replacing Michael's, Wisely Advised in the St. John Commons, Daily Grind Coffee and Ice Cream Place, and Opulence Nails. So I just wanted to thank all of them for considering St. John.
Yeah, that's great. Okay. All right. Anybody else, Ed? No?
No, I'm good. That's
Bill,
a lot of
you're
that's
good?
a lot of new businesses. It's good to
Yeah.
good to see it.
Sure is.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Eric?
I'm good.
Amy? Good? You're good? All right, well, why don't we just, I'll motion to adjourn then.
Okay, second?
All in favor?
All right.
All opposed? Ayes have it. Thank you, everybody.